Hi you guys, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I've kind of been looking forward to this layout. It's going to be a 2-page layout, so let me make a little space here. This is a page kit I put together. If you haven't watched the creating page kits video, please go and see that. I'm doing a series, I think it was 8 different page kits, all related to the rodeo, which is kind of like our big county fair that happens in February. So I have some old Sassafras paper for my base pages. And then I have this really cute homemade Carta Bella chicken paper, which I think is just adorable. And the sticker sheet that goes along with that. A real pretty suede, I've used this on another page, brown paper for helping mat or whatever. And I even have a piece of polka dot burlap. So I want to cut a few things out of this. I don't know what. I need to look and see what things I have in like steel cut dies, or that I can draw a template on here and hand cut that. So I'm going to use that for probably some mostly ephemera. I don't know. So and then a piece of white cardstock. So there's a couple of lots of pictures, quite a few pictures. So several watching the chickens hatch, and then several others of animals. And I was saying, I think this is looking a little ratty and you can't see the lambs as well. And so I like that lamb better. And this bunny rabbit. And then, hi, my name is Dolly. So this one I'm gonna set aside. So I've got 2 chicken pictures. And I think those, since she's looking in this direction, we'll do this. Those will go on this side. Oh, just found a spider on my arm. And then this needs to go this way, so it's looking into this page. So that's the photos that I'm gonna do. I just need to figure out how I'm going to handle those. There is quite a bit of pink on here, and there's some pinky parts of the chickens and then the red. So there's some peachy pink, which is more closer to her little cowboy hat here. So I need to figure out a layout for these. I can cut some of these down a little bit. So I think that will be, this one can't be cut down really. And this one can't be cut down. So I've got 2 big ones, and if I can get these, I don't know. It's a lot of pictures, so they'll probably have to be on some sort of square block to help bring those in. And I don't want to put all the pictures of her on one side. And then just the animals. I don't want to do 3 and 3. I'd rather do 2 and 4. Okay. Let's figure this out in a minute. I think I also will want to do some sort of border. So what I was thinking, this is busy paper, but I think to help tie these together, I can cut. So these will go like this, and that doesn't make it look like a single 2-page layout. But if I cut this and do a strip on each side, and maybe I'll do 3.5, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 inches. Is that going to be too much? I'm trying to get it to where this goes in to that. I could cheat it a little bit this way especially if I'm gonna do a border of some sort. And there is this darker green on here, which looks pretty good. I could use that and the brown for another border on either side. So maybe if I do this to 2 3-inch blocks with some extra layers on either side, that will work. And do I want to do torn layers, or would I rather do a border strip? So I'm going to speed this up. I do decide to tear, and I'm pretty careful when I tear it. I'm still thinking about it here. When I tear it, I just tear off the cut off chickens so that my tear line is not cutting into any individual chickens, which gives me a nice natural looking line to follow. Then I'm going to cut that to my 3 inches. And then I need to go to the other side of the paper and do the same thing. And the reason I did that is because I would have had to tear off more on the opposite side than I do on this side. So it was just more paper efficient. And that leaves me with a little strip of the green paper, and I do end up using that for some matting and stuff. So I decide I want to add some more layers. I don't use the green. I think I save that for mats, but I am going to use this. I'm going to call it chocolate suede. And I don't need a huge strip because it's just going to pop under. And that just makes a nice finish for those chickens. So here's where I'm thinking about, do I want a 3rd layer there? And I decide no. So I've gone off and I've matted a couple of the square papers in the green, in that dark green, the other side of the chicken paper. I have one more little strip left, and I'm trying to decide what to do with it. And I die cut for my new die cuts a Howdy, and then I went onto my Cricut and made a y'all in a script. So the Howdy is a Western font and then the script. So I was happy with that. I think it stands out better not on the green, but I honestly don't remember what I ended up doing. I was feeling like I wanted to incorporate some of that green on that side of the page layout as well. And then I have this check, and I don't end up getting to use that plaid or check until close to the end. But here I'm taking some of the different bits of ephemera and trying to create some layers. That one says country girl. And y'all, at the time, we are not country. Let me tell you, we live in the suburbs. We're very suburb. We travel to Europe. We are not country people. But my daughter joined FFA last year and raised a lamb. So this was foreshadowing. And when she was little, she wouldn't even touch animals. Like, we'd go to a petting zoo and, she didn't want to touch anything. But sure enough, she's an FFA girl now. So who knows? Who knew that this was indicative of things to come? So I love these little chicken bits. They're from the Carta Bella It's from a cut apart in that homemade Carta Bella kit. And then I have some other things from On the Farm, I think. I end up not using, like that Country Girl is from On the Farm, and this little animal ephemera is from On the Farm. I end up not keeping that on the page because I love those chickens from that homemade thing. I do end up having to trim quite a few of the stickers. I think they were, the printing and the cutting was just a little offset. So there was a wider white border on one side of the stickers than the other. So I do trim those up a bit. That's a little piggy. So I'm here just playing around, cutting off some more chickens. Now, one thing that I do want to do, looking and thinking about this page, I've got a lot of square elements on it. I only have one little circular element. I want to add more circular elements. So I'm probably going to go into that top left cluster and just add some sort of circle behind it. I think I might be able to cut a circle from that red check paper and pull out and then just hide where I cut the circle from. I think the page would benefit from something a few more circular things. So I'm still just, I play around with the ephemera quite a bit, trying to make some good looking layers and not cover up the things I don't want to cover up. I really like that she's saying hello to all these animals, and so that's a pretty consistent, I've got the howdy y'all on there, and then that little hello cut apart at the top. And little tiny baby chicks stickers sprinkled around. And a few wordy bits that I fishtail bannered. So I'm cutting that so that it's easier to use. And I think I end up moving that So just playing around with ephemera and stickers and trying to figure out what I want where. I still haven't cut that card for the title, so I'm figuring out how wide I can make it because I don't want to obscure that side decoration. I did tear, I used the chocolate paper under the top photo, and I tore one edge of it to sort of emulate the torn border strip. So I go ahead and cut that into a square, and I use my scalloped corner chomper to decorate it up a little bit around those edges. And then I just have to figure out, yeah, and I like that chicken sort of fits in that space. So I think I'm going to go off, and I really tried this burlap, you guys, and it just didn't work. I decided those dots are too dark, and then I actually cut some things out of the burlap, some arrows, and they were just too big to fit on the page. So I ended up just making some tags out of that. I got 2 tags out of that one little piece of checked paper. But as I said, I'd like some more. And you see I put a little square of it in that middle cluster, but I could use some round elements. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is figure out how to get a circle out of that stuff and maybe change that check at the bottom to a circle. And final touches, adding, and I think some of these are from I don't even know what, I have a whole stack of enamel dots, and I'm indifferent as to which brands or kits I pull out to match things, since I certainly didn't have enamel dots to match this sassafras paper. So I think we're done. We're back to real time, and I'm going to show you. As I said, I am going to make that one adjustment and add another circular element here and there. So I think I lift them up so you can see them. And I would love it if you could give this video a thumbs up. It helps spread my page and let people know what I'm posting. And I'm just really pleased with my chicken layout. So thanks, you guys, and come again. Oh, here I'm showing you the burlap that I cut that I just couldn't make work. It was too big and not the right shape, and maybe I'll go cut some circles out of that. All right, you guys, thanks a bunch.